This is the greatest and best song in the world. Tribute. Long time
I remember
ago.
that actually vividly. I was telling someone about this recently. When I was a kid, I used to be really fat. And I remember I had a shower once. I think maybe I was just feeling self-conscious, but I started writing this song called Do You Want to Fight Me? And I had my shirt off in front of the mirror and I started writing this song. And then I went up to my mum, who was upstairs, and I sang it to her. And I think she wanted to be nice, but she was like, that's a very, very strong lyric, Sam. Yeah, because I was talking about like punching. And I was like 9. Yeah. Yeah, it was more rap than melodic. Yeah.
First song I ever wrote was called Trip Along. It was, it's what inspired my first band called Tripping Daisy. And it was written in my girlfriend and I's first apartment in Denton, Texas. And it actually, that song made it on the second Tripping Daisy record. I'm Elastic Firecracker. Had I Got a Girl on it. Trip Along's on it. It's the first song I ever wrote.
Man, it was probably the bass line to a White Stripes song, Seven Nation Army, and I was trying to turn it into my own thing. Very creative skills.
And we're still ripping songs off like that to this day.
Nothing's changed. It's all just being rearranged. That's a Limp Bizkit reference, isn't it? Nothing I say is original.
First song I ever wrote was a song called Ashes. And it started off on the floor tom with Ulrich. And Al wrote the lyrics about a love interest of the time that had fallen through, but they were still friends. And the chorus line was, now the fire's out, the ashes will be your friend. I like that. It's quite poetic.
It was a nice sentiment,
It's
but
good
it was
sentiment.
a bit cheesy.
Yeah, mine was it was kind of a rendition of Buddy Holly's Roller Coaster. But it was about pooing on the toilet, naturally.
Yeah. The first...
You can feel that in yourself.
Lizzie had sort of started these little snippet of lyrics, and I just loved the line, dig up the bones, but leave the soul alone. So I was like, let's just put this at the beginning of every verse and every chorus, which has made learning the lyrics really difficult.
Well, remembering the lyrics, yeah. Sometimes at a show, if I like sort of like phase out for just a second, I might forget where I am in the song. So that is a lyrical trope that I may never repeat again.
Color Gang Grandmas, which I wrote when I was like 12. And you were involved. Lawrence was involved.
I don't remember it so well.
I can't remember it, but it was with another friend of mine from what is it, primary school,
Yeah.
12? It was called Color Gang Grandmas. The lyrics were, Color Gang Grandmas setting fire to cars. It's hard, no. When you're old, it's hard to be in a color gang or something like that.
It's pretty weird.
It was really weird. It was great.
It's pretty messed up.
It was like a glam rock tune as well. That was
really?
the weird thing. Yeah.
I just
was like
assumed it
Motley
was like
Crue or
gangster
something.
rap or something, but it was glam rock. Yeah,
But we were listening. That's the thing. We thought it was a new.
We were way ahead.
genre.
We were way ahead of.
creating. It was like
we were way ahead
it's
of Limp
glam rock,
Bizkit.
but we were listening to whatever Young MC at the time.
Yeah.
The first song I ever wrote was very, very dramatic. I used to write a lot of depressing teenage poetry, and I think the first song I wrote was about how there are millions of people dying in the world, mostly to do with poverty. But I guess I kind of respect myself for that because it's true, actually. But it was a little over dramatic. Yeah.
One of the first songs I wrote was a song called IOU, and I think it was the first song I wrote, and it's now a record label. So that's kind of cool. That's like a sweet story. When I was like 14, and then my old band Johan from IOU managed this, and now it's named IOU. Yeah. What about you?
I don't know. The first thing I can remember playing was Achy Breaky Heart on the snare. I could do a pretty striking rendition of it, but that's the first thing I can remember playing. I can't remember my first song.
That you wrote?
Yeah. I'm living off the royalties for that.
I would have been like 9 or 8, 9 or 8 or 7, and I was really into NSYNC, and I wrote like this kind of like rip off NSYNC song. And I remember like my mum in the car, my mum telling me that it's like a rip. She says it sounds like that NSYNC song, and I like cried and got really upset that she thought my song was a rip off.
This might be a bit of a stretch to say it was writing a song, but the first thing I remember, like, purposefully doing for the sake of the sound of it was when I was really little. Like, it's one of my first memories, and it was getting a seesaw at a playground when I was like maybe 3 or 4, and pushing it. Like, all the other kids I remember would obviously get on the seesaw, but this was one of those ones with springs, and I remember pushing it, and because it was quite old, it like gave off this rhythm, and I loved it. And I used to go to the park, like my nanny used to take me to the park to do that, and I just like sit there and like press it. And that, I don't know whether that's writing a song, but in a kind of, I don't know, in a moondoggy kind of way, I reckon it is.
The first song we ever wrote as a band was a song called Fast Jabroni, but that wasn't the original title. Yeah, it was just Tyler and me writing a song together, and it went really well, so we decided we should probably keep doing this and be a band.
There was a title for that song?
Yeah. Yeah, what was it, Tyler? I forgot.
Spanish Bombs?
It's called Spanish Bombs.
Part 2.
By The Clash.
So the first song that I wrote was a song called Psychic, and it was a homage, is that how you pronounce it? Homage to
Fromage.
No, it was truly, it was a song about wanting to get somebody away from you because you know that they can read your mind, and it sounded like Green Day, and I recorded it with some pots and pans, and and 2 tape machines. So it was my first overdub experience, and it was the first song I'd ever written.
Was it as bad
Which
as it
I think
sounds?
It went, when I'm walking down these streets, I feel like a monkey in the Arctic.
A monkey in the Arctic?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the lyric, yeah. That was the first lyric. City dwellers stare into my eyes.
Very Asian definition.
And it makes me wonder if they're possessed with psychic powers like you. Yeah, it was about psychic.
I know you wrote one for your long lost.
Yeah,
I
I wrote
helped
one
you
for
record
Heather,
it.
who's now my wife, and I wrote her a song to get her back. Yeah, and Luke helped me record it.
It was fun. That was like our first band recording.
That was my first definite recording. Yeah. Nah, I didn't have a name for it, but the job was effective because we're married.
First song I wrote was really intense, and it was about a friend of mine who had committed suicide. Yeah. Sorry.
I'd like to hear about the first song you ever wrote, actually, Alex.
I wrote it on an acoustic guitar. I can't even remember the content of the song, but it had a lot of chords in it which didn't really work, and that's all I remember.
I wrote one on my friend's electric guitar on the top E string, which is the very high one. I can remember everything about it, including the words, and it's extremely embarrassing and awful. It began, I met a mermaid. I'm going to leave it at that.
Fantastic. Sounds like a Nick Cave song.
Yeah, it was probably a lot worse.
Yeah, our first song we put together
Do
as
you
a
believe in
band.
second chances?
It was called
that?
Promises,
That's right.
and we were
Promises,
laughing
yes.
about it today before our set
We
because
were
it's
actually
terrible.
laughing about it. It's yeah, it was.
Pat will sing it for you now.
Yeah, it was ultra pop. I'm not going to sing it for you, but
It wasn't ultra pop. It was ultra terrible.
Yeah, that is actually a genre. It's a genre.
We played it once and never again.
Yeah. So, we actually got kicked off stage after that song. It was
We kicked
quite
ourselves
awkward.
off.
Shit. Max wrote a song about amphibians one time.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, I didn't write that song though. My dad wrote that song, and
It
I
was
just
a
sang
rap
it.
song
Yeah,
about
it was a rap song I did in my third grade talent show. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, it was. I don't think so. I don't know. It might have been something where it wasn't like there's no winners. It's just like everyone kind of. I can't really remember. Were there winners?
A hippy dippy kind of thing, huh?
No. Well, Elvis played wah guitar. We had a track playing in the back, and then I was rapping. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. Can you remember? Oh no, I can't.
Yeah, you do know it. Of course you do.
Spit a line.
You do it.
Say one
You do
line,
it.
Max.
Amphibian.
I'm amphibian. That's what I am. I'm an amphibian. What's up with that?
There we go.
Yeah, the first song I wrote was about a mole. A mole called Moley. And he was, as was in the song, he was moling around. And everyone else was just moling around until Moley came to town.